everybody, thanks for tuning in. I want to do these little tiny bite-sized chunks of vlogs. I've got a lot of you great people out there asking for updates, what I'm doing. If this is your first time here, after 27 years, I've decided to do another bodybuilding show. I did a couple back in the 90s, married, kids, work, life. So now it's time to make a comeback. So as of this past Saturday, June 2nd, it's 20 weeks, and I'm looking at a show here in New England, Massachusetts on October 28th. Things are going very well. So let's take you back to the beginning, January of this year. I decided I'm going to do a show. So I started dieting, okay? And the hardest thing was trying to figure out what works for my body. So I downloaded the MyFitPal app, and started off with 40% carbohydrates, 40% protein, 20% fat on a 2,200 calorie diet. Okay, very little movement on the scale, very little movement in my body after a couple of weeks. So then I decided to go 50, 30, 20, 50% carbohydrates, 30% protein, and 20% fat, very little movement. Then I went ahead and flipped that again, doing 50 protein, 30 carbs, and 20 fat. Again, very little movement. And again, that's the biggest thing, is for any bodybuilder starting off again, is trying to figure out what works best for your body. So for those of you that follow the channel, you know I have a very successful podcast with Vinny Galanti, IFBB Pro. So he and I have been talking, and he's taken me under his wing. And he is a very big advocate of carb cycling. And I'll tell you, that seems to be working. So basically, Monday and Tuesday, I do very, very low carb days. Okay, I have 2 meals of very low carbs and 4 meals of strictly protein and a little bit of fat. That's Monday, Tuesday. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, it's mediocre. I have 3 meals with carbohydrates, and again, very low amount of carbohydrates. For 3 meals, 3 more meals is strictly protein, a little bit of fat. And then Sunday, I follow up with a very high 6 meals, carbs in every meal, kind of replenishing the glycogen, replenishing the muscle stores. And by kind of yo-yoing my carbohydrates every week, things are going really, really well. Since I started that, I've lost about 8 pounds starting in March, and I've lost probably 4 or 5% body fat. I have one of those scales that I use. I don't know how accurate they are, but it's just a good gauge. Something I like to tell everybody: when you're using a scale, make sure when you time yourself or when you use it, make sure it's the same time, whether you're doing it in the morning, in the evening, but make sure you do it at the same times so that you're getting the most accurate readings. And don't get caught up looking at it every day. I generally, first thing every Monday morning, I do my stats, write them in a book, and I leave it for the rest of the week. So let's talk about meals, things that I've been using. So for carb sources, I've been using sweet potato, little baby red potatoes, jasmine rice, oatmeal, and then sometimes I'll have a banana. Okay, and again, so I'll do that and on the carbs. And then for protein, I generally will do chicken. I will also do steak and pork chops, all lean cuts. Again, I'm not totally anti-fat, but I'm trying to keep my fats low. So again, every meal, and eggs. Of course, can't forget the eggs. So generally, I try to do 6 meals a day. So on my low carb days, again, I do 2 meals. It's generally every day is an oatmeal, whether it's a half a cup or a cup, and a scoop of protein. And for my protein, I use Apollo Nutrition's 50-50, which is a blend of 50% casein, 50% whey. And then other days, I'll just use their Isoblast, which is strictly isolate. And then another meal, I'll have just an egg white omelet. I'll generally do 6 or 7 eggs, 1 egg with a full egg yolk, and then I'll also stir in some spinach, just to have some greens, some vitamins, things along those lines. And again, as my wife always gets on me, I have to have my greens. And then from there, I'll generally have my lunch, which is a lean protein, generally 5 to 6 ounces. And if it's a carb day, again, I'll have a sweet potato, jasmine rice, or sweet baby potato or sweet little red potatoes and a salad. Again, just for roughage. Later in the afternoon, I'll generally make another omelet, or I'll generally have a protein shake with some plain almond milk. Again, low calories, low sugar in that. For dinner, again, I'm going to confuse you. For dinner, I generally replicate the lunch, which is a protein, 5 to 6 ounces, and either a carb, or if I'm not doing a carb, I will go ahead and have a salad with that. And then my last meal of the night is either an egg white omelet as well, or just a protein shake. So here's where it's important, guys. Some people say bodybuilders eat very, very plain, very bland, okay? And it doesn't have to be that way. I'm a huge advocate of sea salt. There's also a great company that I use called Spice Beast. Okay, I'll put the link below for Spice Beast, Apollon, anything else that I'm referencing here. Great spices. Some of them are protein enhanced. Some of them have salt. Some of them don't have salt. But just really, really good. Okay, some people get so anti-salt, get so anti-seasoning, but season the hell out of your protein. You have nothing to worry about. As long as you're drinking enough water, it's going to flush out all the sodium, keep everything healthy. Also use a lot of adobo. My wife's Hispanic, so we love our adobo in the house. So that's really it when it comes to nutrition, okay? Again, when I started this, I was too caught up on counting calories and macros and everything else. And Vinny said to me, listen, he's never counted a calorie. He's like, Sean, I have, a decent amount of protein, a nice lean protein. Again, have a nice carb source, maybe some green leafy, some kind of roughage, and you do that multiple times a day. And again, with the carb cycling, it's working wonderfully. Hopefully, guys, I haven't bored you. I'll do a quick clip at the end of this, just kind of breaking down all the protein sources, all the carb sources, and then also I use almonds for fats, and then I also use a scoop of fish oil, like 1 or 2 teaspoonfuls a day, because that's great for cardiovascular health, skin health, cholesterol, things along those lines. But there's always, if you guys have questions, put it below, reach out to me. You know my information, you know my Instagram handles, everything else. Next update, I'll give you guys, I don't know, maybe I'll do my workouts, maybe I'll do my supplements, but whatever you guys want to hear about. But thank you so much. I appreciate all of you on my ride here. Hopefully you found this informative. And if you're thinking about doing a show and kind of on the fence, reach out. I've got a great support system. I'm excited, I'm nervous, but most of all, it's going to be a whole new me come October. As always, guys, thank you so much and have a great day.